It seems like everybody that makes content has a top 10 NBA players list. Some are better than others for sure. Some will claim that I don't know ball, and they do. Yet they'll have James Harden in their top 10 all-time list. They'll have Kevin Durant ahead of Larry Bird. Now let's put that to rest right now. A lot of people commented on my Wilt versus Michael video. Most of it was positive, but some people said that I couldn't compare a shooting guard to a center. Well, Kevin Durant and Larry Bird play virtually the same position. So let's get right to it. Tail of the tape. Bird is listed at 6'9" and 225 pounds. Durant is now listed at 6'11" and 240 pounds, but I honestly have no idea how tall he is. I've seen him listed at 6'9", 6'10", and 6'11". Everyone also swears that Bird is taller than 6'9". Both men didn't want to be typecast as centers. Durant has averaged 27.2 points a game for his career. Bird averaged 24.3 points a game for his career. Bird himself said he could have averaged over 30 points a game if he wanted to, but he chose to play a more team-friendly game. We know that this is true because in 1985, Bird chose to score 60 points in a game just to prove a point. He wanted to break McHale's 56-point mark he set a week earlier. And there was the game he scored 27 points with his left hand just because he wanted to. Bird also played in the era of hand checking and hard fouls. Playing in the post back then was not for the faint of heart. For his career, Bird averaged 10 rebounds a game. Durant has averaged 7 rebounds a game. This is even more impressive considering this was the era of giants. This is when teams prioritized having a very large center and usually a 6'9", 6'10" power forward enforcer that was all muscle. What also makes Durant's stats less impressive when it comes to rebounding is the fact that he doesn't play inside and the missed shots bounce further than ever due to all the missed three-pointers, and he still doesn't rebound. So what is Durant's excuse? He's a far better athlete than Larry Bird ever was. He can jump higher, run faster, he's quicker. But if you know ball, and apparently I don't, you should know that athleticism really doesn't matter. If you move the ball around, the ball moves faster than any player. If you know what you're doing on defense, then you can anticipate what your opponent is doing. Sometimes you have to work smarter, not harder. When it comes to passing the ball, it's not even close. Bird averaged 6.3 assists per game for his career. Durant currently averages 4.4 assists per game for his career. Bird is one of the greatest and most creative passers of all time. The assist numbers don't actually matter. If he played point guard, he would have averaged 10 to 12 assists a game, if that's what he prioritized. Bird's passing was transcendent and infectious, and it's one of the reasons the '86 Celtics were as successful as they were. The '86 Celtics probably had the best culture of any team ever. If I get open, I'm getting the ball, and I know that. It doesn't matter where I am on the court. Just take a look at this ridiculous pass. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. Who would even attempt a pass like that? None of this is any knock on Durant. Durant's one of the best players of all time, but there's levels to this. Larry's elite. He's the elite of the elite. Bird even leads Durant in steals per game. He averaged 1.7 steals a game for his career to Durant's 1.0. Because of Bird's basketball instincts and his ability to read the floor, almost nobody could jump a passing lane like Bird and steal the ball to start a fast break. Durant has a slight edge in blocks over Bird with 1.1 blocks a game to Bird's 0.8. Bird's field goal percentage was 49.6% for his career. Durant's is 50.2%, nearly a wash. Durant has shot 39% from 3 for his career. Bird shot 37%, but these numbers are misleading. Bird's rookie year was the first year of the three-point shot. People didn't really know what to do with it. It was sort of a gimmick. For the first couple years, Bird didn't shoot it very well. He also didn't take very many. But for 4 straight years, from 84 to 88, Bird shot over 40% from 3. In Durant's best season, he shot 42.2% from 3. In Bird's best season, he shot 42.7% from 3. If you want a super deep dive, take the advanced stat of box plus minus. That's how much better is your team per 100 possessions with you on the floor. With Durant, he's 6.4 BPM. Bird is 6.9 BPM. Bird has 3 MVPs to Durant's 1. Bird took home 3 MVPs in a row from 84 to 86. This is one of the greatest 3-year stretches by any player. He took home 2 titles and lost 1 in the finals to the Lakers. And he was a member of the 86 Celtics, one of the greatest teams of all time, in which he was the catalyst and the driver of. The only other players to win 3 MVPs in a row were Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell. In Bird's rookie season, he led the greatest turnaround in NBA history. He turned a 29-win Celtics team into a 61-win Celtics team, and this was before Parrish and McHale joined the team. Bird was a legit alpha in a league full of alphas. Durant has never been that. That's no knock on him, that's just not his personality. Durant was on 2 of the greatest teams ever as well. He took home 2 titles with those teams. And you could argue that he was the best player on those teams or he wasn't, but he certainly wasn't the leader. Those were Steph's teams. Durant has 2 titles to Bird's 3, but they both have 2 finals MVPs. When it comes to career highs, in points, Bird has 60 to Durant's 55. When it comes to rebounds, Bird has 21 to Durant's 18. When it comes to assists, Bird has 17 to Durant's 16. When it comes to steals, Bird has 9 to Durant's 5. Durant has Bird beaten blocks with 7 to 5 in a single game. But when it comes to triple-doubles, Bird has 59 career triple-doubles to Durant's 18. The aforementioned game where Bird had 9 steals, he was 1 steal short of a quadruple-double against Utah in 3 quarters. He sat out the 4th because the Celtics had such a big lead. Bird is synonymous with the Celtics. One of the first things you think of when you think of the Celtics is Larry Bird. Who do you think of Durant with? He's been on 4 teams, and there will be a 5th, trust me when I say that, and probably next season. Why couldn't Durant and the rest of that big 3 make it work in Brooklyn? Why didn't any one of those 3 take accountability for that? Why doesn't anyone in today's NBA take accountability for anything? Bird was never afraid to call his teammates out, but they didn't mind because they knew he had their back no matter what. And if he said it, there was a reason for it. But today it just sounds petty. Like when you asked LeBron after this year's playoffs what happened, and he said besides him and Luka, there are 8 other players on the court. So why blame the 2 best players and the leaders, of course? I mean, it's kind of really hard to compare these guys in certain ways, because people are just built different than they were 30 or 40 years ago. Larry Bird was the reigning MVP of the NBA when he hurt his back for the rest of his career shoveling his mother's driveway. I wonder if Durant learned how to shovel when he was on the AAU circuit. Lastly, if you want to say that Durant had better competition, I'll also disagree with that. Bird used to drop 40 on a regular basis against Julius Erving, Sidney Moncrief, Shawn Kemp, Magic Johnson, Michael Cooper, Tom Chambers, Clyde Drexler, Dominique Wilkins, James Worthy, and Michael Jordan, to name a few. I'm taking Bird over Durant all day long.